All right, in Unit 2, Section 1, we are talking about variable expressions. We're going to look at how to define them, how to evaluate a variable expression, and then how to write a variable expression. At the end, we'll touch on some word problems that apply to it as well. But first, we need to define a couple things. The first definition is numerical expression. A numerical expression consists of numbers and operations. So, for instance, 7 plus 3 is a numerical expression. Negative 2 minus 10 is a numerical expression. 4 times 9 is a numerical expression. These are all numerical expressions. There's numbers and then there's operations. Next definition is a variable. A variable is a letter used to represent one or more numbers. So in math, you'll often see variables like x, y, n. Those are all variables, but really you can use any letter you want, A through Z, as a variable. Next definition is a variable expression. So we're taking a numerical expression and then we're adding in variables as well, and that's how we get a variable expression. So it consists of numbers, variables, and operations. So for instance, x plus 6 is a variable expression, 7 minus y is a variable expression, and 100x would be a variable expression. 100x would be multiplication. Our last definition is evaluate, and we've talked about evaluating expressions before. When we're talking about a variable expression, when we evaluate, it means that we're going to plug in a number for each variable that we see. So that's actually what we're going to look at right now, is how to evaluate some variable expressions. So they tell us that A equals 9, B equals 4, and C equals 11, and they just want us to evaluate all of the expressions. So our first one is B plus 9. We know that B equals 4, so we're going to replace the B with a 4, and then we're going to add 9, so we'll wind up with 13. For number 2, we have 2 times C, which is 11, minus 5. Order of operations tells me to multiply first, and then subtract, and we'll get 17. Number 3, I'm going to leave for you guys to try. If you have any questions, just ask your team. On number 4, we have A times B over 6. A is 9. B is 4. And then we have that over 6. So we're going to multiply 9 times 4, which is 36. When we have 36 over 6, that means we're dividing. So our final answer will be 6 for that one. For number 5, we're going to use all 3 variables that they give us. So we're going to do 4 times B, which they tell us is 4, plus 3 times C, which they tell us is 11, minus 5 times A, which they tell us is 9. And I apologize for running into the next problem. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 times 11, which is 33, minus 5 times 9, which is 45. We have addition and subtraction, so we go left to right. 16 plus 33 is 49. 49 minus 45 is 4. All right, I'll leave number 6 for you to try again. Just do your best. If you need any help, feel free to ask your teacher. On the back side, we've got one more definition, and that is of a verbal model. A verbal model describes a problem using words as labels and then uses math symbols to relate those words. So if you look at page 6 in your textbook, it's got kind of like a little cheat sheet table in the middle that takes a bunch of words and matches up with what operation they stand for. So we're going to walk through a couple examples. Our first one says the difference of 4 and a number. Difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. So we're going to do 4 minus n. The quotient of a number in 18, quotient is a division problem. So we're going to do n over 18. Again, we write our division problems as fractions. Do not write the divided by sign. Number 3 says the product of 25 and a number. Product means multiplication. So we're going to write 25n. Again, we write them right next to each other. We don't put a multiplication symbol. And then we have 15 more than a number. So more than means addition. So we'll do n plus 15. So again, there's a little cheat sheet on page 6 in your textbook if you need some help with some of those keywords. Next, we're going to look at a couple word problems. So the first one says a studio charges a sitting fee of $25 plus $7 for each portrait sheet ordered. Write an expression that can be used to find the total cost to have photographs taken, then find the cost of purchasing 12 portraits. So this first part right here, where it says write an expression that can be used to find the total cost to have photographs taken, that means an expression in general. So we're not actually going to find an answer for that part. We're just going to write an expression. So we know that it costs us $25 no matter what. So we can go ahead and write that down. If we're going to take pictures, we're going to have to pay $25. Then the rest of our cost depends on how many portraits we order. So let's say, and they tell us that it costs $7 per portrait. So we're going to add $7, and I'm going to use P for portrait. So what this expression is saying is that I know if I go to get pictures taken, I have to pay $25 plus $7 times however many portraits I have. Then it asks us to find the cost with 12 portraits. So that's just evaluating the expression like we did earlier in the notes. So 12 plus 7, we replace the P with 12. Order of operations tells us to multiply first. 7 times 12 is 84. 25 plus 84 is $109 for your portraits. All right, I'm going to let you guys try number 6. After you do number 6, you'll see that there's some review problems at the bottom. And please, 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 no calculators on this. Do it with paper and pencil. If you need help on the word problem or on any of the review problems, feel free to ask your teacher. That's it for the Unit 2, Section 1 video.